Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally doesn't work. Guys, I am like grinning from ear to ear because football is back. We just had the opening press conference with the Dallas Cowboys, and let's get open for business here. My thoughts on what we heard via NFL Network through the Dallas Cowboys. The thing that Jerry Jones is most excited about is the position coaches. And as he put it, you have your cake and you eat it too because we kept our great coordinators. Well, we'll see how that works out. But bringing in some new blood and new talent and ideas with the position coaches, between special teams, between Chris Richard, between Paul Alexander, Sanjay Lau, that he feels that the coaching staff is going to be better because of that. What's interesting to me, one is it me or does Jerry Jones look like he's really pale and needs some sun? I don't know. Doesn't he? Doesn't he look kind of pale? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Interesting thing is they basically did this press conference by committee. I'm interested to see how much leeway they give Jason Garrett. I've been feeling like Jason Garrett this offseason has been more of the face of the franchise more than he ever has before. You have not seen Jerry Jones on a regular basis like you usually do, and it'll be interesting during training camp how often we see him. Now, Jerry did do a lot of talking here at this press conference, and he addressed David Irving. He said, David Irving is dealing with off-field issues by agreement and design. He is not here. Irving is addressing his issues, and they are ongoing, and I don't expect to see him at camp. And that's as far as they would go with that, other than saying basically that, when you're on suspension for whatever reason, whatever time frame, you're not allowed to practice with the team during that time frame. Thus, Zeke Elliott practiced with the team at training camp. Once the suspension happened, that's when he was not able to have contact with the team. Right now is the time that David Irving could have contact with the team, working out and everything else, until week 1 and until after week 4. So right now, as it stands, it's not looking like David Irving is going to be part of Oxnard at all, if training camp at all, even when they go back to the Star. There is no word exactly where that's going to go, or so on and so forth, when he'll be able to actually get back to practice. Randy Gregory, 242 pounds. He passed the running test. They said he looks like he's in good shape and everything, like he's been working out, but that he is being brought along slowly because, of course, there's being in shape and then there's football shape. And a lot of times what happens is, and we notice this more times than not, the first couple of weeks of training camp, guys aren't used to being back in football shape. You start seeing lots of injuries early. In fact, the Giants supplemental draft player hurt his shoulder and is out for the season already today. We had that issue last year. We had a lot of hamstrings pulled between Ryan Switzer and Woozy, Xavier Woods. We had a lot of soft tissue type injuries and things. So they're trying to be cautious with Randy Gregory and bring him on bit by bit and get him slowly up to speed. You don't want to go from 0 to 60 and then have an injury and set him back. They want to take their time, which is a good approach right there. Interestingly enough, Stephen Jones answered all the questions when it came to Zeke Elliott as far as maturity. And if you'll remember, at the beginning of the offseason, and I always tell you guys, Jerry Jones is always over here saying outlandish things, and the press and everybody follows Jerry Jones. But the real work of the team actually is Stephen Jones. If you want to know what's going on, pay attention to what Stephen Jones says. Forget Jerry. He's great for, clips and everything else and quotes. But Stephen Jones is really, I believe, the de facto GM of this team. Because he went on at the beginning of the offseason basically saying we cannot have off-field distractions of your making or not to Zeke Elliott. He also went on the record saying the same thing basically about Dez Bryant, about sideline meltdowns and things like that. So when I kept saying that Dez Bryant was gone, it was because of what I saw from Stephen Jones. So Stephen Jones kind of put Zeke Elliott in the woodshed and let him know, listen, we're here. We're the Dallas Cowboys. We are your family. However, you're not going to do what you did. We're not going to have that. And if you notice how Zeke Elliott has matured, how Zeke Elliott has stayed out of trouble and out of the limelight, it all goes back to Stephen Jones. So I believe that Stephen Jones is really more of the quiet power behind the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think he's ever going to be vocal like Jerry Jones. I think he's going to be there handling business. So in some instances, that may be a good thing that you have Jerry Jones as a distraction and somebody who's actually there taking care of business. Terrence Williams. Terrence Williams passed the running test, but again, that's another player that they want to take along slowly because you don't want to go ahead and rush that and so on. And they're saying they're having daily discussions on what to do with Terrence Williams. As far as on the PUP list, we know that Malik Collins is the only one that's going to be on the PUP list, and that's good news. Hopefully, before the end of training camp, he'll be back. And other than that, everybody else is in good shape for practice. So, guys, tomorrow starts our first practice. I think it's time to go ahead and smoke a good old cigar now that officially the off season is over. Whew. I'm Mark Holmes with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and thank you guys for watching the Joe Boo Sports Report. I will see you guys, of course, with any news on our Dallas Cowboys, and you know there's always news on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll see you guys later.